Canelo Alvarez is not top 5 pound for pound. Stay tuned and I'm going to tell you why he's not top pound for pound. Top 5 pound for pound.
Guess they forgot who I am and what I represent, what I stand for. It's the king for a fall, but I outshot them all. They ain't talking just material, I'm talking overall.
Hello sports guys, it's your boy Scott Free. Hey, look here, man. I'm going to tell you why Canelo Alvarez is not top 5 pound for pound. But before I do, hit the subscribe button, the bell icon button, so as I make these videos, you guys will know about them, right? Make sure you share the videos, keep the channel growing. So anyway, without further ado, I don't want to hear all that crap about Canelo Alvarez being top 5. I used to have him my number 1 pound for pound, right? Over a period of time, he just keeps fighting the lesser of the competition. And he got caught with PEDs. But let's start back. He got beat by Mayweather. Mayweather was 36 years old. Wasn't even a close fight. Now, a true champion like Mayweather, let me tell you what Mayweather did. Mayweather took the fight with Canelo Alvarez. He didn't put a rehydration clause in there. So what happened? Canelo came in 15 pounds heavier. When have you known Canelo let somebody come in a whole lot heavier? I'm waiting. When he fought Kovalev, what did he do? He made sure he manipulated it to make sure that he had the advantage over Kovalev. Kovalev had just got through fighting, right? Then, it wasn't even 8 weeks later to fight Canelo. Then he hit him with a rehydration clause. How you going to move up in weight and challenge the champion and make him come down to win his belt? If you're going to beat the man, or don't fight him at all. What Canelo Alvarez is doing is he's trying to manipulate it so he can go down into the Boxing Hall of Fame like he's just this one of the best of all times. Man, it's garbage and y'all need to stop that crap. Man, y'all need to stop it. Y'all Canelo fanboys or just straight up fanboys, man. Make the dude work for it. Man, the first fight with Triple G, he really lost that fight. Second fight, I give it to him. He won that fight. He beat Danny Jacobs. Barely, right? Canelo hasn't been having a lot of impressive wins. Somewhere in here, Canelo has lost his hunger, man. And you can see it on him. I don't know if he's injured or whatever it is, but he doesn't have that hunger like he used to. What did Marvin Hagler say? It's hard to get out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning when you're sleeping on silk sheets. Man, that's exactly what Canelo Alvarez is doing, man. And if you guys want to be honest about it, ever since he started getting those paydays, he's been fighting lesser and lesser of the competition. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. You got people like, used to before, if somebody called Canelo out, he was ready. He's ready to come. Now he's like, I can't hear what they saying. How you can't hear what Charlo is saying? You can't hear what Demetrius Andrade is saying, right? You ain't hearing none of that. And then what's crazy is they was trying to fight him for a belt, right? He don't want the belt. Oh, no, I don't want the belt. Okay. But when somebody else get the belt, a weaker opponent, now he wants to fight. Canelo wants to fight Caleb Smith. Why not fight Caleb Plant? Huh? You see what he's doing? The best competition, he always get the weaker of all of them. He won't fight the Charlos. Hell, I'll take him to fight either one of them. He won't fight Nary Charlo. He won't fight Demetrius Andrade. Oh, that's going to be a boring fight. Man, it's always an excuse after an excuse besides saying, I'm going to go take their belt. Why you going to go fight Caleb Smith? Then y'all give him credit for beating Rocky Fielding? Who the hell is Rocky Fielding? What has Rocky Fielding done? Nothing. Nothing at all. So, man, you guys can go walk with the shepherd if you want. But not me, man. My eyes are wide damn open. I'm not walking with the shepherd on that one, man. Canelo Alvarez is a PED cheat, too. You can't say he ain't. Matter of fact, he's so much of a PED cheat, he has a big name. I give you that. But he's a cheat, and he has such a big name, the WBC, let fighters have a little bit of computer all in their system. It ain't like Canelo Alvarez can't go get his meat from some other place. Talking about it was in the tainted meat. No, it wasn't. Just like it wasn't in Tyson Fury's meat. Tyson Fury never had that boar meat. You guys are letting these people get these passes and you steady building them up. Man, I can't support that, man. I don't care who it is. One favorite fighter probably right about now, my boy would be Errol Spence. If Errol Spence goes around and goes, man, I'm not fighting this guy, I'm not fighting that guy. Yeah, right now he's not fighting Bud. I know that's what you're going to say, right? But what did Earl say? I'm going to clean up my side of the street take these belts over here because it's easier to do it on my street. Not just meaning that it was an easier fighter, per se. Some of that means that, but it's because it's easy to make within the PBC, right? PBC are going to be able to fight PBC fighters better, like top rank and top rank fighters. That's just how it goes, right? Because now PBC is making all the money, so they don't have to make all of it. If you go through top rank, they got to kind of split some of the money in a joint partnership, so they want the fight to be larger than life, right? So Spence went and fought, what did he do? He fought Danny Garcia. I mean, not Danny Garcia. He fought Sean Porter. He fought, he beat Kell Brook, fought Sean Porter. So this is my point with that. He also beat Lamont Peterson. So think about it this way. Now, what he said was, matter of fact, he was going to give Sean Porter was going to run it again on that match when it was over with. He's like, yeah, we can do it again. But I guess they advised him not to, because at the end of the day, you got other fish to fry and you can come back to Sean Porter. Because Pacquiao ain't going to be around forever, right? Then you taking a chance with Terence Crawford. So now, what did he do? He have a wreck right after that. He didn't go take a fight where he can go, what did he say, a tune-up fight. He said, man, throw me back out there in the water. Throw me back in the deep water. That's what a true champion does, man. He had an excuse to go fight somebody, a lesser opponent. What did he do? He go fight Danny Garcia. Now, you can say Danny Garcia ain't the best welterweight out there. Okay, but the best welterweights are Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. So what did Errol Spence say? He didn't dodge it. He said, I want the pack. Once I get past Danny Garcia, he ain't looking past that. Once I get past that, I want Pacquiao, then I want Terence Crawford. You got to give it to that man. He's putting in the work, and he's fighting the people. So Errol Spence is in my top 5. Terence Crawford is top 1 pound for pound. Now, before I pulled Terence Crawford down, because I was like, man, he ain't fighting nobody. Mean Machine? Who the hell is Mean Machine? You know what I'm saying? You ain't going after the fight. So what did he do? He fought Kell Brook. You can say Kell Brook is a shell of himself, right? But he didn't just beat Kell Brook. He did it in spectacular fashion. He knocked that dude out with a jab. That's great for a caliber opponent like Kell Brook. And you can't say Kell Brook came in out of shape. He was definitely in shape. Terence Crawford is number 1 pound for pound. Period, point blank. Now, who's number 2? You got to give it to somebody like Errol Spence. Errol Spence, or my number 2 is Errol Spence. Period. Then I got Pacquiao in there. Because you got to give pound for Pacquiao. You got to throw him in there if you're going to just say the whole body of work, right? Lomachenko was always a hype job. Listen, from day one, I said Lomachenko has skills, right? Now, he did beat Gary Russell, but Gary Russell was a little depleted or whatever else, right? Gary Russell kept calling him back out. Gary Russell is the longest reigning champ, besides somebody down in up under 100 pounds. I don't even know who the guy is. But, so you got Gary Russell. So, how is it Gary Russell's been defending, right? But you got somebody like Canelo accepting the franchise belt and ain't fighting nobody. He ain't fighting no mandatories. WBC giving him a way out and he took it. They asked, was it Deontay Wilder? It was either Deontay Wilder or it was Errol Spence. It was one of them. I think it was Deontay Wilder. They asked him about the franchise belt. What would you do if WBC offered it to you? He said, hey, it was never offered to me, and if they offered it to me, I wouldn't take it anyway. That's what a true champ does, man. That's what a true champ does. Deontay Wilder, he wasn't ducking nobody. Now, it came out that he ducked AJ because he wanted to give Tyson Fury another rematch. But the way he looked at it is, it was unfinished business with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury had to go cheat. He had to cheat. And I don't care what you guys say. He done been caught with PEDs, Tyson Fury, and he had the whole glove scandal. The dude cheated, period, point blank. So Deontay Wilder is a true champion. And that ain't what Canelo Alvarez does. So you guys can go on with all that. Canelo Alvarez is not in my top 5. For one, he couldn't be top 1, so I put him down. 2, he ain't been fighting the hardest competition. At least Pacquiao fought Keith Thurman, and it was a chance for Pacquiao to lose. Yeah, Keith Thurman didn't show the best, right? What he do? He stepped up to the plate. And he's got a better body of work than Canelo Alvarez. So he's definitely over Canelo Alvarez. So you got Terence Crawford, Pacquiao that are definitely above Canelo Alvarez. So then you got, then I have Charlo. I got Jermell Charlo. So Jermell Charlo lost his belt. And it was a decision that was controversial, right? Because a lot of people was like, well, man, Tony Harrison really didn't win that. They gave it to him anyway, right? But what did he do next time he came out? He stopped that dude. He didn't dodge him. He came right back in and he stopped him. Made it clear. Next time around, he became unified champ. Stopped somebody with a jab. He's on my list. So look, Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao, Jamal Charlo. Those are my top 4. So do I think that Canelo comes in the top 5? No, because I don't think that Canelo, being that he's a PED cheat, and on top of that, he's giving everybody rehydration clause. He didn't do like Mayweather. He ain't giving people a fair fight. He putting himself in an advantage to whereas he can definitely make sure that it leans in his favor a whole lot. Now I understand you get into a fight, you might hold a little bit. They headbutt. They do all kind of little stuff. I can handle that, right? But what I can't handle is you taking a fighter, you putting money in his face, paying him a lot of money to make sure that he takes the fight, right? Like Kovalev, and then make sure he don't have a rehydration clause. That ain't what a true champion does, man. So no, Canelo Alvarez is not in my top 5. So who would number 5 be? I don't know. It would have to be somebody like I tell you what, I'm really a little bit up in the air on the top on number 5. Because I think both twin Charlos are on my pound for pound list, right? But I have Jamel a little higher than Jamal. So I would probably say, I need some more time to think about that. But just to throw a quick name out there, I'd probably say, Gary Russell. The reason why I say Gary Russell is because he's the longest reigning champ. He's been calling out a lot of names and nobody wants to fight him. So pound for pound, he puts it down. Ain't nobody, every mandatory comes around, he puts them down, takes care of them. So, but that's just what I got my list right now. I'll update it, right? Because Earl has got to get past Danny Garcia. Earl is the top welterweight. Manny Pacquiao is still in the game, so you got to give that to Manny Pacquiao. Canelo Alvarez is fighting Caleb Smith. Caleb Smith, man. When Canelo Alvarez fought last year, it was like last November was the last time he fought. He ain't fought since then. Nobody has because of Corona, but he ain't fought since then, right? But then his next opponent, his opponent before that, was that Kovalev? I think it was Kovalev. So after that, the next fight he fights, who'd he fight? Gonna fight Caleb Smith. Not Caleb Plant. Not Jamal Charlo. Demetrius Andrade. David Benavidez. Why he ain't fighting them 4 good fights? Those are 4 good fights. And I'm not saying all those guys can beat Canelo, but I'm saying why not give these guys a shot? They hit belt holders. You got 2 of them that are definitely belt holders, right? Really Benavidez, but Benavidez didn't make weight, right? So, hey, there you go. There you go on that. So, Canelo Alvarez is not in the top 5 pound for pound. Man, that's straight up no chaser, man. No cut. So, you guys tell me in my comment section, where do you rank Canelo Alvarez in your top pound for pound list and why? And don't give me that because what he did back in the 1950s. You know what I mean? Don't give me that what he did years and years and years and years ago because after so long, you got to keep updating that if you're going to stay on the pound for pound list. You drop down. You know what I mean? You drop down. Just like I pulled Terence Crawford down a little bit. But even though he fought Kell Brook, I got to give him credit. And I got to give him credit for taking the fight and ending the fight in a spectacular fashion. So until next time, guys, hey, man, Showboating Sports, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Till next time, man, like I said, hey, man, I'm out. Peace.